Tere kõigile! Mina olen Ella ja minuga siin on Reis. Meie oleme Sydney Virmaliste rahvatantsurühmast ja meil on ülimalt hea meel, et te olete koos meiega Suvesimmanil.
My name is Reis and this is Ella. We're from Virmalised, Sydney Estonian folk dancers, and we're excited to welcome you to the Suvesimman.
Siinkohal tunnustame Eora maad tema järelvaatajatega ja muistset Kadikali hõimurahvast ning avaldame austust kõikidele vanematele. Neile, kes olid enne meid, kes on vanemad praegu ja kes tulevad pärast meid.
We acknowledge that we are currently on the lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation.
Tunnustame ka neid hooldajaid ja maid, kust teie kõik vaatate täna, ning kõiki aborigeene ja Torrese väina saarlasi, kes sellel üritusel osalevad.
We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you're all watching from today, and any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders present.
Me tähistame aborigeenide rahvaste mitmekesisust ja nende jätkuvat kultuuri ning seoseid Austraalia maade ja vetega.
We pay respect to the elders past, present and emerging and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal people and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of Australia.
Meie tublid esinejad on publikule nautimiseks filminud imelisi esinemisi. Seega loodame, et teile tänane etendus meeldib.
We have a sensational list of performances waiting to be viewed, so we hope you enjoy the show.
Selle ürituse jaoks on saadaval subtiitrid ja tõlked eesti keelest inglise keelde. Klõpsake video paremas allnurgas olevale subtiitrite nupule.
Subtitles are available for this event, as well as translations from Estonian to English. Click on the subtitles/closed caption button on the bottom right of the video.
Lisaks saate elada etendusele kaasa reaalajas chat-funktsiooni vahendusel, mille leiate video paremal küljel.
This event is interactive, so please feel free to comment in the chat on the right side of the screen throughout the show.
Palun võtke hetk vaigistamaks oma telefon. Etendus on peatselt algamas.
Now, please take a moment to put your mobile phones on silent. The show will begin momentarily.
Viis, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lõke esitab Ma istun kodus.
Sa istun kodus, igat ühte aitame. Ma töötan kodus, sa töötad kodus, igat ühte aitame. Küllast aiaid ümma helistan, suhtleme siis ikka veel. Ma istun kodus, sa istun kodus, igat ühte aitame. Ma pesen käsi, sa pesed käsi, 20 oleme. Ja oma elu ei puudutama, sest tema tööna omane. Üksi pole ma karantiinis, mul on palju eplane. Ma istun kodus, sa istud kodus, iga ühte aitame.
No, tere Los Angeles. Ma istun kodus came about during my time in New York earlier this year, covering the coronavirus outbreak there at a time when things were out of control. The city was shutting down. People were being told to stay at home to try and stop the spread. And the thought behind it was a song that could almost be a message we could send to one another about why we were doing what we were doing, even though it was hard, that there would be better days ahead, sort of almost a nursery rhyme for our times. And it was, putting it together, a welcome distraction from all the work that we were doing during that time. Surtanu to Siri and Ella, co-writers of this song, really, who took my very basic Estonian and turned it into something that made sense. Thank you too to Kieran for making sure it worked musically, and thank you to all the people who took time and effort to learn and perform the song. Look forward to catching up with everyone when I return to Sydney in the new year. Head tot aastat ja nägemist from Los Angeles.
Mudilasring esitab Latti kinni.
Tere, mina olen Karin ja ma olen Sydney Eesti Mudilasringi õpetaja. Me saame kokku Eesti Majas 2 korda kuus, reedeti, kus me siis mängime, tantsime ja laulame eesti keeles. Ja tänaseks puhuks on meil ette valmistatud laul Lahti kinni, mida esitavad Sydney Eesti Mudilasringi lapsed. Nii et nautige ja laulge kaasa. Hi everyone, my name is Karin and I'm the Sydney Estonian Playgroup teacher. We meet fortnightly at the Estonian House on Friday mornings. And today we have prepared a song called Lahti kinni, which means open shut them. So enjoy it and sing along.
Lahti kinni, käsi on mul 2. Lahti kinni, tee üks väike plaks. Keerutame hästi kiiresti. Lehvitame nii. Valmis? Lahti kinni, käsi on mul 2. Lahti kinni, tee üks väike plaks. Keerutame hästi kiiresti. Lehvitame nii.
Rebased esitavad Hopa.
Salmiakki Pelimannit esitavad loo Örnhaare.
Kunsti, käsitöö ja etnograafia ring esitab Hei, it's käsitöö day.
It's käsitöö day! We have written this verse, we hope it will not be our curse. As we leave our supper bubble, we are sure to stay out of trouble. Here we are on a country outing, finally meeting without routing. Thank goodness we don't need to worry about STEM, already been taught that by our mem. Medica gives language training as Eesti Keel is somewhat waning. We are here to save your day, as the virus will not keep us at bay. We grab our needles, pins and tools, creating masterpieces, whilst breaking crafters' rules. Kathy searching wool and fibre round the globe, casting and knitting for all to probe. Again we show you how to knit, in the process we shall stay fit. Many in training for the Knitters' Olympics, only to be tackled by the super eccentrics. Always ready to stop and measure, we hear that 1.5 metres is to treasure. Now there is a race against the clock. Ingrid must finish knitting that sock. Maya's mission a harpsolo shawl, ready for wearing at the next Esto ball. May with a Y makes adorable quilts one cannot afford to buy. Imbi and Esme come to save the day. Food galore, too much for one to adore. Some stay home to cook a chook, totally absorbed by the handicraft cookbook. Gulike paints and makes exquisite frocks for her mates. Some of us make toys admired by boys and girls. Some teach but prefer to be at the beach. Some of us dance and sing, others wear mighty bling. Thanks to Meie, what a day we have had. To leave this retreat it is very sad. Come along to käsitöö, we will not make you dress in fur. If your craft is to chat, then you already have your first crafter's hat. Goidela's hat is a fine example of that. Remember to have a go, surprisingly there'll be plenty to show. Totally exhausted, we shall drink tea as we salute this very successful working bee. Now we have come to a little stuck. All my friends are now running amok. It is time to say goodbye. All we can do now is sit down and sigh.
Kooskõlas esitab Ära mind lahti lase.
Kiili Kirjud esitavad tantsu Esimene valss.
Stevie Sydneyst esitab 2 lugu, tantsulugu ja torupillilugu 2.
G'day, my name's Stevie and I dance with Virmalised, the Sydney Estonian dance group, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to play my Estonian bagpipe, the torupill. At the moment I'm in the high country and we're spending a little bit of time away from the big smoke, listening to the birds and watching the animals. And the other day we went for a ski. This is on cross-country skis up to Little Twynham. It's one of the mountains on the mountain range at the Kosciuszko National Park, and it was a good time. And there's more to come, so stay tuned and listen to this. I just happened to find this grove of lovely birch trees, and I thought, well, it'd be a good place to play the doddlebill. This is my doddlebill. I name her Keterlyn. Keterlyn is the name of the wife of the pharmacist who lived in Tallinn when it was a fortified village back in the 1400s. My first tune is Tantsulugu. Now that was with a low G drone. Let's just try that with a high G. My second tune is Rukkililled number 2 by Peter Sild. Both tunes are by him.
kunsti, käsitöö ja etnograafia ring esitab Hey Hey It's Cooking with May, esimene osa.
Hey Hey It's Cooking with May. Siin me oleme koduköögistuudios. Here we are in the Kitchen Home Studios. Today we will prepare basha. Tänään me valmistamme bashat. The recipes come from the Estonian Handicraft Cookbook. It's in 2 languages, and the recipe I chose today is Virmaliste basha. The first thing that we have to do is we have to melt the butter and sugar on low heat. So I just put the sugar in the pot and the butter, and then I'll just put it onto the stove. So here we are. We have the melted butter and sugar. And what we need to do is we add the cottage cheese. So it's 1 kilogram of cottage cheese, and we mix it all up very nicely. Then we get 2 eggs, 2 to 3 eggs, and we beat it up. We add it into the cottage cheese, and we stir it. So it's nicely stirred in. Then we add some cream. nice and smooth. Then we add fruit peel, mixed fruit peel. I make my own. So it's lemon and orange peel mixed. And we add some currants. And some almonds, chopped almonds. And so we mix it all together into a very nice soft paste. And we return it back to the heat for a short time so that it becomes nice and custardy creamy. Oh, I can't wait to eat this one. So we've stirred this over low heat for about 5 minutes. And so we've got a beautiful creamy paste. And what we need to do now is we need to put this basha into a mould. So either, if you've got a basha mould, please use that. You can also use a flower pot and you line it with muslin. But because I've got a large quantity, I've decided to use a mould like this that can drain away. And I've put my muslin in the middle. And then I will spoon into the mould. Oh dear, I forgot to put the vanilla in. Never mind. And there we are. We have our basha ready to go. It needs to set for about 24 to 48 hours. I've still got a little bit left over and I added the extra vanilla that I missed out on. So I'm going to do a tiny little basha. And basha is actually an Easter festive dish, so it'll give you plenty of time to practice. We freeze through and we've made our bashas. Now they're going to be sitting in this mould for 24 to 48 hours. And occasionally you may wish to check and pour off any liquid which has gathered in the bottom container. Now, if you require a more detailed explanation of the recipe, you may consider purchasing one of these books for yourself. I find it a very nice instruction book of many Estonian style recipes with a bit of an Australian twist. So thank you for joining us, and we'll come back to this in about 24 to 48 hours. Bye-bye.
Nüüd on vaheaeg.
Näeme 5 minuti pärast.
Now we have an intermission.
See you in 5 minutes.
kunsti, käsitöö ja etnograafia ring esitab Hey, hey, it's cooking with May, teine osa.
The bush is now ready and I'm going to take it on a picnic. Right, the basha is ready and set. What we need to do now is to plate it. So the muslin's still there, so in order to plate it, what we do is we put the plate on and we tip it and we hope for the best. And as you can see, there's not too much liquid there, as I've drained it a couple of times in the 48 hours that we've been waiting. So now I will peel it. Oh, look at that. How amazing is that? Now, just in case we want to decorate it, the tradition is, this is an Easter festive dish. You generally put a nice red rose on the top, and then you can decorate it with dried fruit and so on. But because we've got some beautiful flowers available at the moment, I thought it appropriate to decorate it with a little bit more red, and then maybe sprinkle some, oh, the wind's blowing away, sprinkle it with some borage flowers. Look how pretty that is. Very nice indeed.
Tere!
Tere, noormees, kas sul on kõht tühi?
Jaa!
Kas soovid bashat ja võisaia?
Palun!
Jaa! See on hea!
Salmiakki Pelimannit esitavad loo Pulmamarss.
Rukkililled esitavad taas koju.
Friends of Keterlyn esitavad tantsulugu.
G'day, I'm Stevie, and I play the torupill, very old instrument from Estonia. And today we are the Friends of Keterlyn. We've come together to play our instruments. First I'd like to introduce the fife. Second instrument is a very old instrument, of course, very useful, is percussion. And the last instrument is the overtone flute. You may never have heard the overtone flute before, but it's a marvellous instrument to play. Please enjoy.
Kiili Kirjud esitavad tantsu Kallimast kallim.
Sulle me
Salmiakki Pelimannit esitavad loo Luhamaa Reiländer.
Virmalised esitavad tantsukingad.
Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, tundub nagu mured kaos. Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, rõõmu jätkub kõigi jaoks. Väike kingsepp on see, kes teid uhke kingid, tervise vilet lööb, tetes rõõmsalt töö. Vaatab alt, vaatab pealt, kopsid liistu siit ja sealt, mis sa ihtad hing. See on kinnisking, kes need kingad kord küll jalga panna saab, seda veel ei tea, kes need kandma peab. Aga kindel on, et sellele, kes saab ükskord endal need, lausub meestermees. Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, tundub nagu mured kaos. Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, rõõmu jätkub kõigi jaoks. Aga saabub kord päev, millal noormees neidu näeb, kes tal meeldib nii, et kõik rahu viib. Tihti nad õhtu eel käivad kõrvu puiesteel üle vahtra puu, paistab tõusev kuu. Ja siis mõtleb poiss, kui meeldiv oleks see, kui nad keerleks koos, tantsu kiires voos. Mõeldud tehtud ning ta neiupaki teeb, kinga kingiks viib, ise ütleb nii. Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, tundub nagu mured kaos. Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, rõõmu jätkub kõigi jaoks. Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, tundub nagu mured kaos. Kui neis kingades sa tantsid, rõõmu jätkub kõigi jaoks.
Nüüd võtab sõna Eesti aukonsul Sydneys, härra Sulev Kalamäe.
What an impressive cultural video experience we have just witnessed. Congratulations should go to the team from Virmalised for coming up with this idea and putting it all together. 2020 has been an historically significant year in the history of the world. We have witnessed much hardship, initially due to the prolonged drought affecting Australia, but then the worst bushfires in living memory came next, and then followed by the current worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. our way of life has been fundamentally changed, probably permanently. The Estonian communities across Australia have had to severely restrict their activities due to COVID-19 protocols. This has left a huge vacuum in our previously active cultural lives. So it is fantastic that this Suvesimman event will help, at least partially, to fill this void in the new COVID-19 world we live in now. A bit of history to bring some context to today's event. When Estonia declared its independence in 1918, it had to fight a long war that did not formally end until February 1920. As a consequence, the economy of Estonia was exhausted. Major new reforms had to be implemented, so the new nation of Estonia implemented the Land Act of October 1919, which nationalised all the privately owned manor estates, the mesas, across Estonia. In the main, these were land holdings owned by the Baltic Germans for centuries. In total, over 100,000 new farms were created, and these new farms gave many Estonian families the opportunity to start enjoying a happy cultural renaissance, one which usually included the Suvesimman, which we have enjoyed today. The Estonian nation is highly appreciative of the expatriate Estonian communities around the world and the great work that the Eesti Seltsid in Australia are achieving, despite the difficulties we're all facing at present. On behalf of my fellow honorary consuls in the other states and territories of Australia, as well as the ambassador and embassy in Canberra, I would like to wish you all a better and happier 2021, where hopefully we can all one day join up again in a true live Suvesimman. Head uut aastat, elagu Eesti!
Nüüd võtab sõna Sydney Eesti Seltsi juhatuse liige ja laikur Marju Tõnisson.
Tere kõik Suvesimmani esinejad ja pealtvaatajad. Mina olen Marju Tõnisson ja ma sooviksin Sydney Eesti Seltsi nimel paar sõna öelda. Mis juhtus 2020. aastal? Mis ei juhtunud 2020. aastal? Kõik algas justkui suure hooga. Meil käisid esinemas tuntud artistid Eestist, 5- ja Reket. Kavas olid rahvatantsu töötoad, kevadpidu, jõulupidu, 6. E-klubi üritused ning muidugi kinoseeria. Need plaanid jäid paraku katki, kui see selgeks, et võib elu ja surma küsimuseks osutuda, kas käia koos või mitte. Esimest korda Eesti Maja ajaloos sulgusid suurpandeemia tõttu meie uksed. Kuid nagu kirjanik Valdur Mikita on öelnud, selleks, et püsiks Eesti kultuur, rääkimata rahvariietest ja eesti keelest, peavad eestlased hoidma oma metsi ja seal ka aeg-ajalt käima, mõtteid korrastamas, energiat ammutamas ja seenel marjul. Austraalia-eestlaste metsa sümboliseeribki Eesti Maja ja seda peame me ka hoidma, kuid ka siin käima, olgu see siis tantsides, lauldes või niisama lõugu laksutades. Aitäh kõigile, tänu kelle initsiatiivile rakendati eriolukorras ette nähtud reeglid ning tänu kellele entusiasm üleval hoiti. Käesolev Simman on ehtne näide meie noorte peale hakkamisest. Kallid estraalased, nähes hiljuti, kui suur hulk rahvast kohe esimesel võimalusel seltsi üritus külastas, ei ole kahtlustki, et kui Eesti Maja kord jälle täies ulatuses avatud saab, oleme me jälle koos. Siinkohal soovin varesele valu, harakale haigus ja tegutseme tasapisi edasi. Aitäh!
Salmiakki Pelimannit esitavad loo Sünnipäeva valss.
Suur tänu kõigile, kes meie Suvesimmanil esinesid ja täna meile kaasa elasid. Loodame, et teile etendus meeldis.
Thank you very much to everyone who performed at our Suvesimman or tuned in to watch today. We appreciate your support and hope you enjoyed the show.
Kui olete huvitatud ühinemas mõne täna esinenud rühmaga, võtke palun ühendus Sydney Eesti Seltsiga all olevas kirjatuses oleva e-posti teel.
If you're interested in joining any of the groups that were performing today, please get in touch with Sydney Eesti Selts via the email in the description below.
Ootame teid 2021. aastal Eesti Majja. Head vana aasta lõppu.
We would love to see you at Estonian House in 2021. All going well? Happy New Year.
Nägemist.
Head vana aasta lõppu. Have a happy new year.